A warm welcome this afternoon to Wild Earth, to all our viewers, and we start off at Old Onyo. Well, we seem to have a very relaxed scene. A few zebras on the outskirts, an oryx drinking, and a giraffe. Now, this afternoon I'll be your host. I'm Jaapie Potgieter, and by the looks of it, it's going to be a beautiful afternoon. I'm hoping that we might get to see some exciting events and also some beautiful relaxing events like here. First thing that strikes me here is the fact that we don't have elephants around here this afternoon. So the other animals get to have a turn. I think we've lost Old Donyo, but that's okay. Here we have some elephants at Tembi. And two Inyala moving off. It seems like an impala. Oh no, it's a young Inyala. Is he trying to catch up with the other two? But what a beautiful scene. From where I am, it looks like at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 elephants. And I can see from the swaying tails that they are very, very relaxed. Oh, there's another 2 that's hidden behind the tree. Another 3 actually. It looks very busy here. And I know I've commented on this before, but it does seem like these elephants are mostly, they know each other, or they are aware of each other's presence. They seem quite relaxed and quite comfortable with each other's presence. You can see they're all just minding their own business, taking a rest. And that is a pretty spectacular sight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, at least 9 bull elephants. They might not always be traveling together, but certainly in times like now, they will all come together in a popular spot. What better place to do that than this beautiful watering hole? And of course that ever popular patch of shade. So this afternoon I just want to remind our viewers that it's live and interactive, so you can definitely send your questions and you can subscribe and you can go and register on the Wild Earth website. And you can send your questions to wildearth.tv/questions, or you can scan our QR code. You can also join the conversation on the YouTube chat at FC. And you can also send comments and questions through there. And if you want to, you can also join on X or Twitter, just using #WildEarth. one of the younger elephants. On the outskirts, I saw earlier on one of the larger bulls from the right was moving over to the group, and then saw these younger ones moving a little bit off. Clear sign of respect. Moving out of the space of the larger ones just to give them space. Big animal. It requires a massive amount of space. You can see a yellow-billed stork there. And some Egyptian geese. Also an African jacana. That looks like I think three-banded plover. Let's just run off screen. And I do find it quite interesting that these elephants here, Timbi, a lot of them tend to rest their trunks on their tusks when they're taking a break, which is something that elephants often do, especially bull elephants. And the size of their tusks allow. It's a sign of comfort, can be taken as a sign of intimidation or unsurety in certain instances, but in this case these animals are all extremely relaxed. Let's see some more Egyptian geese there, and another African jacana. I always find it amazing that these animals, even though they're just standing looking like they're not doing too much, they're constantly aware of each other's movements, paying attention to other signs and things within the area. You can pick up on sound vibrations, chemical traces in the air, with an excellent sense of smell. So they are quite in tune with their environment. Fuzzy Dunlop, first day Thursday. Indeed, looks like a nice warm day there, Timby. You can see these elephants are just having a drink, hydrating themselves. You can see it doesn't look like there's too much mud wallowing going on, but there's definitely some dust on the backs. So just a casual drink near the water and dusting. Cabello, Como Kaboya, good afternoon to you too. A very good afternoon. It's been quite exciting this far. A lot of elephants together in one spot is always exciting, even if they're just relaxing. You can see the ears flapping, so it's definitely shows us that they definitely feeling the heat there in northern Maputo land. Mercedes Bean, greetings and happy Thursday to you too. Spasyankov, I agree, always happy to begin with elephants. Never a dull moment. Never a dull moment indeed. You can see with the heat like this, the animals have been feeding most of the morning, And they'll probably feed later in the afternoon again, as they need to. Some of these bulls will require more than 200 kilograms of wet plant material. Oh, what do we have there? Looks like a little bee eater. That's beautifully striking colors. That is fascinating. You can see that beautifully bright yellow throat. Sitting right up on a perfectly placed perch. Usually a dry branch sticking out in the middle of nowhere. You can see the head tilting everywhere, not missing anything. There is a slight breeze going, but with all this elephant dung around and the heat, there's a lot of flying insects in this area, and they've got a sustainable amount of food and waste that the elephants is leaving. This watering hole is quite a clear example of how effective and how necessary and amazing the contributions of elephants to the ecosystem is. Each animal on its own is an ecosystem. Even its waste it leaves can create an ecosystem. There we go. Might come back to this perch. I'm really hoping for that. Maybe not. Well, that is a perfect perch out in the middle of nowhere. No other shrubs around, with some open patches, game trails nearby. What better placed position? And those bee eaters often, so they're very agile flyers. Look like little jet planes. So they hawk their food, which is flying insects, aerially, and they often use a perch which they'll walk from and then fly back.
Would you like to see the awesome sight of Africa's biggest tuskers in the shadow of ancient Mount Kilimanjaro? Or a pride of 20 lions hunting in the grasslands of the Masai Mara? Join me, James Hendry, on the unique Kenyan adventure to Amboseli and the Mara. There are only 6 places on this unforgettable safari in May 2025. Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive.
Join the Wild Earth Explorers program and connect with a community passionate about wildlife. Support our mission to share authentic wildlife experiences with the world. Your monthly contribution helps provide schools and children access to kids' safaris, fostering a love for nature in the next generation. Embrace the wonders of the bush and make a difference today. Wild Earth, connecting with nature.
potentially a warthog. Indeed, a warthog. Looks like a shiny, muddy warthog. Also feeling the heat. And this warthog's clearly capitalizing once again on the greener grass on the water's edge. That little pan's been quite productive with the bird life, as well as some of the smaller mammals in and around there. And of course occasionally serving the elephant swimming pool. See the cropped down reeds in the middle. The elephants have definitely been in there feeding on it. The elephants are some of the species that's utilizing one of the widest range of different species of plants as food. And sometimes some of that food, depending on the chemicals within the plants and the type of plants, it might block their digestive system a little bit. That can happen. And they usually eat a lot more fiber to aid in the digestion. Veldkunt, it is indeed very, very nice scenery here. I'm enjoying the serenity of this moment. And see, these elephants are almost dozing off as they're standing there. The swaying tails is always a sign of a relaxed, calm elephant. It's almost like they catch themselves dipping in and out of a doze on occasions when the tail goes still, and then just briefly seeing what's happening around. You can see they do need a lot of water, so they, in a hot day like this, they'll come down regularly, even though they utilize the shade nearby. Well, it just goes to show they have a drink, have the initial fill, and then wait around a little bit before coming back down to drink. That one pool there. It's just moved away from the water's edge. Seems quite a bit younger than the rest. Now, from where I am, I think it would be difficult for me to have an accurate estimation of its age, but it might be a young one that's left its herd fairly recently. Started joining the older bulls. Got right at the start of an exciting journey to maturity. Now we have a lot of Nyala females coming down. Like a good feeding patch there. And I always find it interesting, they look quite odd and unsure whenever they're out in the open. And while these animals are enjoying the Tembe waterhole, we're going to head over to Tau. We'll have a look if Africam's got a sight of those crocodiles there this afternoon. No crocodiles as of yet. It's quite a few wildebeest, zebra and some impala. Shilakazuwa, I agree. The scenery there, Tembe, was spectacular. And it's changed a little bit to a bit more of a dry region here, but we've got a lot of creatures around the water's edge now. Already being past midday, we can see that the usual suspects around the watering hole this day: impala, blue wildebeest, and then of course zebra, as it's known now, the plain zebra. And quite a few wildebeest down. A good time of the day to drink. There we go. I can see a crocodile here in the foreground. Lots of wildebeest. That's interesting because these antelope and zebra, of course, they know this is the time of the day that the predators are most unlikely to attack.
Are you ready to turn your travel dreams into a reality? Wild Earth Travel is here to make that happen. Africa is full of exciting adventures and stunning wildlife. If you want to meet the Wild Earth crew and animal characters while enjoying a 5-star safari, we can make it happen. Contact us today on info@wildearth.travel or visit our website, and let's turn your African dreams into a reality.
Exciting news, Wild Earth viewers! We are thrilled to announce the launch of Wild Earth on Welgevonden. To celebrate, Wild Earth Travel is offering a special discount for travelers to Welgevonden in the months of July, August and September. Don't miss out on this exclusive offer. Contact us at info@wildearth.travel today. Chatting around the fire is an ancient practice that has connected humanity for centuries, and we want to keep it alive in our modern age. As an explorer, you'll have access to intimate gatherings with our naturalists, fascinating guests, and experts where we share knowledge, insights, and stories around a crackling fire. Rediscover the power of connection. Sign up to be an explorer today and experience the magic of Wild Earth's Fireside Chats.
Every guide in Africa has been on an endless quest for the ultimate bush wear. Until now. Rugged Wear has a huge range of amazing bush gear for every wild situation. In the midday heat, those chilly winter mornings, in the storms of summer. Rugged Wear has the bush kit for every wild occasion. Locally made in South Africa, crafted with precision, stitched with quality.
Quite a few waterbuck coming down, all males. I think similar thing as what we might have seen with the elephant earlier, where we had the bachelor herd. I think with some of the antelope, they tend to form the same thing. Once young male antelopes reach a certain age, they also move into these groups of males only, where eventually they'll start to compete for a hierarchy amongst those males. And it serves as a good learning school for them. Gerald, you're asking if birds would build a nest on a fallen down tree. Yes, in some cases they would. Funnily enough, some of the water birds here might use the height a little bit off the ground, so extra protection. Sometimes you'll find that Egyptian geese might use even a fallen over tree, get a bit of height on their nest, but other birds would for sure. Some weavers might, and then some of the smaller birds. What a beautiful view of this waterbuck. See the nice long fur, the clear ridges on the horns. And you can clearly see who's the higher ranked individual between those two. Of course, with thorns being there for protection, but also serving the purpose of helping male animals determine who's the most eligible to mate. It's interesting that those ridges are there to aid them in those fights, providing a little bit of grip to prevent any unnecessary slip, therefore giving them a little bit of protection. We have a small group of elephants coming down as well. You can see the female leading the approach to the watering hole. There's a bull standing on the other side, and she's just checking him out. But they're quite comfortable with each other's presence, and there's not really doesn't look like there's any animosity towards each other. Almost looked like there was a little dust devil or small whirlwind that went through and past them. An open piece of land like this can get heated up properly during a hot day, and it seems to be a very hot day. Here we can see there's a crocodile, still got his eye closed. Not even, I'm sure he's aware. He knows that there's animals coming down. What a creature. The waterbuck's quite close in the back, but they don't seem to perceive this croc as any immediate threat. Besides, I think it might be a waste of energy for this crocodile to try and attempt to go after one of those waterbuck. Shilakadzua. What time are crocodiles mostly to attack? And do they hunt every day? Two excellent questions. I guess in short, it could be any possible time. They are the ultimate opportunists, and they do certainly utilize whatever opportunity they might get, but they also have some restraints. If it's extremely hot, then the animals can easily overexert themselves. It takes a massive amount of energy for them to lurch themselves out of the water towards an animal. It takes time and patience. In a situation like this where they can't really go under the water, they're clearly exposed, so for them it would be a waste of energy to go after something, because they'll most likely not succeed. Whatever is around will see them coming. But they tend to be a little bit more active during the evenings, often after a hot day, and it cools down drastically in the evenings, especially in the dry season in the African bush. In the regions that they occur, the water tends to hold on to that latent heat for longer, so they're better off in the water, and therefore we find that they tend to be a little bit more active at night time. Of course, under the cover of darkness, they've also got the advantage. But having said that, if they have enough energy reserves and there's an unsuspecting animal close to the water's edge, they'll go after that for sure. And that could be any time of the day. So while this croc is enjoying the sunlight, I think we're going to go see what's happening at olifants. And here we have some olifants at olifants. What a spectacular scene. This is incredible. One of the few perennial rivers and an essential lifeline in this region of South Africa and in the Kruger Park, the general region. You can see a nice herd. This is something that I note now. At Tau, I've been seeing the smaller groups of females, maybe with their offspring here and there. Over here we can see slightly larger group of animals. This looks like a breeding herd, full of young males, larger females, and then their young. What an incredible sight. Middle of the day, can wet some of them. It's a good time to come down and cool down. Now in this particular region, having very large areas that they can move, and also having large numbers of it. The available resources allow for some larger herds. The form of a herd can be from about 10-12 animals up to almost 30. You can see it's quite a low water level. I'm wondering if these elephants will decide to cross or if they're going to go back the other side. Just drinking as they're moving. It looks like they've been using the cool sand and water near the banks to cool themselves down, and now that they're moving to the faster flowing stream, they're using that to drink. Just take a break. You can see the big elephant cow. For a moment there, tail was just drooping down. Also taking this moment to kind of scan the opposite banks. See what's happening. See her trunks up, so she's sniffing the air. And they might have been spending all morning on the one side of the river, not sure what's on the other side. Like she's thinking what to do. I can imagine it a lifeline like this river is extremely important this time of the year, and it attracts a lot of life, all different kinds, especially the animals with large or very hefty water requirements like the elephant. Now the younger ones, these two at the back here, I'm assuming these two might be young bull elephants, judging from the fact that they're moving away. All the others are standing quite closely to that one large cow. And therefore, that's why the others aren't moving up, possibly.
Seven nights on safari during the magnificent green season. The rains have stopped, the land is emerald, and there are wild babies everywhere. Meet your favorite presenters.
This is amazing.
And create unforgettable memories on this once-in-a-lifetime adventure.
Thank you for coming along on this little adventure.
The Green Season Grand Tour, only with Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive. We have some exciting news. To celebrate our new safari location, Mabula Private Game Reserve, Wild Earth Travel is offering an exclusive special offer for our viewers only. Book a stay for 4 nights or more at any of the lodges on Mabula Private Game Reserve and enjoy an extra night absolutely free. Don't miss this limited time offer. Contact Wild Earth Travel today to claim your discount. Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive. Do you sometimes imagine what Wild Earth would be like without adverts? A chance to properly immerse yourself in nature without any interruptions. Sign up to be an explorer for a small monthly fee and you can truly escape into the wilderness. Ad-free viewing is now available on our app as well as on our website. Wild Earth, it's in your nature.
The large elephant coming over from the left. It's got quite a nice profile there. You can see the almost angular 90-degree shaped forehead, which is characteristic of some of the females at a distance. I mean, one always needs to make sure, but it is one of the ways you can tell. And then of course that little one that's near her, you can see she's just giving a brief rest there, deciding what to do, making sure that the little one's close to her. The little one's using her back leg to get a good scratch in. Here we can see, let's see the little one go up. This should be interesting. Face on the ground, and it helped. Sometimes they'll help the little ones up, but I can see it looks like the caretaker or helper, which is the other younger elephant, is on the far left, busy mudding herself or himself. This has been spectacular. What an incredible scene here at the Olifants. But as the elephants are preparing to move off, let's head over to Stony Point and we see what's happening there. We have some penguins. Amazing, how amazing to hear the ocean. Doesn't seem to be too rough, just some waves coming in back and forth. You can see the penguins kind of moving their bills through their feathers, so I'm not sure if they've just come out of the water. It looks like they're enjoying some sunlight away from the water's edge. What an incredible setting here. Very rocky area. What an incredible space. Lots of loose rocks near the water's edge. Here we have a rock hyrax. Two of them, or two that I can see, enjoying some sunlight, similar to the penguins. From what I understand, haven't been around that much this season in Cape Town, or down in the Western Cape. What a strange little creature. These little colonies out on the rocks here, and they use the crevices as their homes. Maybe you move in rocky areas where they are found. They're like the ever-watching presence up on the rocks. Funnily enough, some of their closest relatives are the elephant and the manatee. There's some semi-aquatic ancestry. Oh, there we go. There's another one that's just made its way out from the rocks, and another one coming down. Looks like it's a nice warm spot there. Now the sunlight also aids these little guys with their digestive process. It's quite important for them to be able to find an open spot and enjoy some of the sunlight. Very at home on the rocks. And seems like they've moved off, some of them. But what a good check-in here at Stony Point. I haven't had a chance to see what the Africam's got here too often. But certainly very, very enjoyable scene. I think let's leave these Hyraxes to enjoy their warm sunlight, and we'll head over to Old Onyo. Seems like Old Onyo is not playing along today, but that's okay. Gives us a chance to catch up the elephants and the warthogs here at Tembe again. Such a pleasant scene. It seems like it's too warm for the elephants to mind the warthog's proximity, and they don't mind sharing. I think there's enough water here for all of the creatures to go around.
Join the Wild Earth Explorers program and connect with a community passionate about wildlife. Support our mission to share authentic wildlife experiences with the world. Your monthly contribution helps provide schools and children access to kids' safaris, fostering a love for nature in the next generation. Embrace the wonders of the bush and make a difference today. Wild Earth, connecting with nature.
Every guide in Africa has been on an endless quest for the ultimate bush wear. Until now. Rugged Wear has a huge range of amazing bush gear for every wild situation. In the midday heat, those chilly winter mornings, in the storms of summer. Rugged Wear has the bush kit for every wild occasion. Locally made in South Africa, crafted with precision, stitched with quality.
In quite a hurry. I don't know what made him move over so quickly. That was very quickly. These two elephants. Oh, I thought they looked like they were left alone. Let's have a look and see what these two will get up to. Looks like he's just checking out that corner of the watering hole. Let's see there, the elephant's got its foot up like that. It's often an indication of it trying to make a decision, just investigating something. Maybe he's deciding whether he should follow in the direction of the other elephant or head over to the water. Oops, seemed like we had a bit of a issue there, Timby now. But here we are at Okukuyu, and what a sight. Lots of animal coming down. Very, very busy period here at Okukuyu. The longer I look, the more movement I see. Animals coming from all directions. Just in case we didn't know, those Egyptian geese was just letting us know that they're there. Lots of animals wading into the water to have a drink. It's an aspect of the animals in this region's behavior that I find quite interesting. Oh, looks like something gave them a spook. A couple of springbok. It's amazing just to watch how they spread out around the edges of the watering hole. Every little group heading to its own spot, making sure that they have the least disturbed region to drink from. Quite special to get to see the springbok with some of the larger game animals like that oryx. Two animals quite well adapted for these arid and semi-arid regions. They're very beautiful markings, quite unique horns. Spectacular. I think so. Here we've got Aldonio back, so we're gonna head over there and see what's happening around the watering hole there. Aha, looks like we got a few giraffe, a few zebra, 2 giraffe. There's lots and lots of birds coming down to this watering hole. I just saw that very long tongue come out to lick up whatever moisture is around the lips. Oh, and there's some more giraffe coming in. Seems like the animals are quite eager to come and grab a drink here while there's no elephants. One zebra just signaled it's time to move. It's the giraffe's turn. Interesting to see such a massive amount of birds around, but birds also have quite a lot of water requirements, especially since they're such a active creature. It takes a massive amount of energy flying. Especially from the seed eaters. Need to come and drink water regularly. But I am quite surprised at the massive amount of ox pickers at this watering hole in particular on the animals. Oopsie. Seems we're back at Timmy, but that was quite a nice little check-in there. See how the giraffes and zebras are doing. Danielle, you're asking if giraffes are always in groups. They mostly are. They are quite social, and they do tend to move around in different known groups within an area, but they're usually in groups, except for the large bull giraffes, the males. We might find them in smaller groups, and on occasions the older bulls, we find them on their own. Could be one of the signs that we use to determine the sex of a giraffe. Generally a very large dark giraffe on its own, chances are good it's a male. Not always, but it is good. In that case, the giraffes around that watering hole at Oldonyo looked like they were young males to me, all of them. I'm not too sure. Like I'm making the assumption that these are all elephant bulls. Just moving back and forth between the groups here. And the edges. And if I'm not mistaken, there's an interesting bird flying in the air. Looks like it might be a kite, if I'm not mistaken. A summer visitor. It's quite far off, but I thought I saw the sharp V-shaped tail, which is an indication of a kite, and this is about the time of the year that some of the migratory species come back, and the kites are sometimes some of the first. Yo, what a sight. Elephants in a clearing. It's interesting now that we have zoomed out, we can see how the grass has changed color. Still quite a lot of evergreen trees, and the water's presence certainly gives a bit of color to the landscape, but we can see it's the dry season, usually from September until October. Very, very dry. Water sources quickly deplete in some areas, surface water. Sometimes you go quite a few days without any cloud cover. Very, very hot temperatures. And usually by the time the rains come, it's a very welcome relief from the conditions of the last 2 months. Of September and October, at least in the southern African region. We're hoping that it might be starting to rain already in October. Jade, You're asking which waterhole location do you enjoy spending the most time at? I have to say it's quite difficult to choose, actually. I do enjoy Tembe quite a lot. There's a lot happening. There's always elephants, but it's also such a beautiful, unique area. But I also enjoy Tao. I think maybe because of the crocodiles there. But it's difficult to say. I guess it depends on the day. In general, any area can be quite productive. So what I do enjoy about Tembe is the fact that you get to see a lot of the lesser seen water birds around, like this jacana. Aha, that elephant that I recognize with his droopy ear. And let's see, it looks like he's keen for some interaction. And if I remember correctly, the other day he was also trying to interact with some of the others around this watering hole.
Join Wild Earth presenter Amy Krantz for an unforgettable 5-night adventure at Mabulag Private Game Reserve. This exclusive tour offers unique safaris, a magical hot air balloon ride, and the rare opportunity to participate in a rhino darting mission. If you want to make lifelong friends and memories, then this one's for you. Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive. Chatting around the fire is an ancient practice that has connected humanity for centuries, and we want to keep it alive in our modern age. As an explorer, you'll have access to intimate gatherings with our naturalists, fascinating guests, and experts where we share knowledge, insights, and stories around a crackling fire. Rediscover the power of connection. Sign up to be an explorer today and experience the magic of Wild Earth's Fireside Chats.
It's pretty amazing how they just kind of disappear into the nearby thick bush and then come back out, and we don't always even realize how many is around. Oh, what do we have? Dark-capped bulbul. For a moment there I thought the bird that flew off was something different. But a takeover of a very prominent perch near the water's edge, near the elephant's drinking spot. Ed asking if elephant females get into altercations with each other. Yes, they do occasionally. They do. They get to have a bit of a fallout around certain resources. Sorry, I seem to have lost a bit of connection there. Happy to see that we're still at Timby. This elephant just casually checking of the others. Moving around to a shady spot, looks like. Doing around the watering hole. See if there's any information that he might have missed. I always look at the elephants and that they look like they're moving so slow, but they're covering so much distance at once. You can cover a large distance in a relatively short time. Acknowledgement that this one's approaching, but well, at least to know it a bit better, we're gonna head over to see what's happening at Onguma. Seem to be having a bit of a connection issue this afternoon on my side, but good to be back at Nguma. And the last time we had a couple of elephants. Nice to see some springbok coming down for a drink. Now, what I find amazing is compared to the two moving away from the water, you can see the different interests and requirements here. These two stopping You have a taste of what looks like rather dry little shrubs along the way. And the others seem to be winding down straight towards the water. Oh, maybe I spoke too soon. It's fascinating to see all these little game trails going in the different directions, kind of winding through the easier terrain. RJT, you saying that your favorite location is Oldonyo, and only because of One Ton. So I haven't seen One Ton yet. I've only heard of him. I'm very excited to get to meet him and get to see him. From what I hear, he's got quite the reputation. I guess large animals have large presences and large personalities. I always like to watch the antelope kind of moving in their little line straight down to the water, one following the other, and then neatly spreading out as they get to the water's edge, following those clearly marked trails. It only makes sense. I mean, they know that it's any debris, any rubble that was in the way has been moved out of the way, and it's a clear cut pathway. There in the distance, something standing under the tree and shade. It looks like it is potentially a wildebeest. Looks like it. A large lone wildebeest. Most likely a male. Yo, and just look at the size of those termite mounds there. That is unbelievable. An indication that there might be underground water. Yeah, not too much else currently, other than the springbok having a drink. Let's see what Victoria Falls, what's happening there this afternoon with the vultures. Aha! Here we have a grey heron. His head slightly tilted, so he's eyeing something close by. This is a brilliant watering hole. There's always lots of fascinating birds around here. And Catherine, I see you say you like birding around the watering holes. So do I. I think that's probably one of the best things, and that's just adds a whole nother element to everything. We have a sacred ibis. Also another regular visitor to permanent watering holes. Very, very beautiful, elegant bird. He's making good use of that long bill. Stretch into the deeper reaches of the water compared to the heron. Let's see how deep the water suddenly gets. And then Jive Bunny I saw, and I'm assuming I said it earlier when we were over at Tembi, but yes, Tembi is an amazing watering hole during the day. It's so busy. Always something happening there with the elephants. And here we have the Hadidabas doing its thing, probing in the water. on the muddier parts. The interesting birds, these. Their bills are lined with very, very sensitive sensors. They can pick up on little things under the muddy, watery layer, and also within the grass when they probe it. You can see the heron is readying itself there at the back. Let's hope it gets ready to strike at something. That would be nice to see. Here we go. And it's got something. Amazing. And it's just also chasing the ibis off. But it looked like it had something there. I'm not sure if it dropped it or if it swallowed it. It didn't look too large. And it looked like it gave 1-2 wiggles. I'm assuming a small fish.
Experience an ultimate 8-night safari adventure with Wild Earth's presenter Cedric Dole at Waterholes Game Reserve. While staying at 2 luxury lodges, you will have the chance to explore this magnificent reserve along with a once-in-a-lifetime rhino notching experience. Only 8 seats available. You can't miss this one. Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive. Do you sometimes imagine what Wild Earth would be like without adverts? A chance to properly immerse yourself in nature without any interruptions. Sign up to be an explorer for a small monthly fee and you can truly escape into the wilderness. Ad-free viewing is now available on our app as well as on our website. Wild Earth, it's in your nature.
Every guide in Africa has been on an endless quest for the ultimate bush wear. Until now, Rugged Wear has a huge range of amazing bush gear for every wild situation. In the midday heat, those chilly winter mornings, in the storms of summer. Rugged Wear has the bush kit for every wild occasion. Locally made in South Africa, crafted with precision, stitched with quality.
From the casual wading into the water by the birds, they're probably well aware that there's no larger crocs in the area. No, maybe it was just something floating in the water. Don't think it was a crocodile. But it's interesting to compare the size. It doesn't look like these marabous standing too far from the croc. It just goes to show how big they actually are. There another view of the kingfisher. It does look like a pied kingfisher from what I can see. It's got a good perch there. Near the stream coming out, so always a potential for little fish near that aerated water. Mercedes Bean, you say you like Oldonyo, Jabulani and Tau when it's got action. I have not actually been to Jabulani yet in my time, but I'm pretty sure any of those three places, when they have action, it can be quite interesting. Tau certainly has a lot of potential, and Aldonyo. And Aldonyo seems like it's extremely busy any time of the day. Penelope Kenyon, you saying that they're all very special places. I agree. I think given the right conditions, they can all have something amazing going. They all are quite unique areas, and we're very fortunate to be able to get to have a glimpse into the daily lives of some of the critters that depend on them. I can see some African spoonbills in the back there. That's a welcome bird on the list for the holes. And that looks like a egret. Indeed, it does look like an egret. I'm not sure, it might be an intermediate egret. I'll have to get a little bit different view. It also looks like it's got its eye on something. Sandy Franklin, you're saying that the blue heron gave you a serious fright once and a stare down. They are, even though they're quite large birds, they can certainly hide themselves quite well along certain patches, and when one's surprised, and the sheer size can give you a bit of a fright. For sure, I agree. I've certainly been startled by herons around the water's edge. Jive Bunny, you saying that the marabou storks are looking rather sinister. I agree. They are known for their sinister looks. They are birds that go by various names. Some areas, some people, one of the common names that they're given is the Undertaker. They look like they're wearing an odd suit of some sorts. And of course that almost bare neck and head doesn't add to their reputation. This has been a very productive birding session around here. What an odd pose that marabou stork's doing. But let's head over to Aldonyo. oryx, quite a bit of oryx, and then the giraffes are still around. Now, sometimes it's not easy to clearly see all the birds' colors, and especially with the more trickier birds to identify, but I just had a look in a book, and it looks to me that the egret we saw at Victoria Falls there was indeed a yellow-billed egret or intermediate egret. Sure, I think very, very busy here. And they're just continuing with a drink. I think we're going to head over to Juma and see if there's any update on birds that side. Aha! This is quite special. Extremely special. 2 Battalier eagles. And one is feeding on something. I can't say for sure what that is, but it looks like it might actually be a fish or part of a fish. Lenny, I see you saying that Oldonio's got striped hyena at night. That's very, very special. It's a creature that I haven't had the fortunate opportunity to see in the wild. I would love to.
Join me next year for a magical trip to see the mountain gorillas of Volcanoes National Park in Rwanda and the carnival of abundance that is the Great Migration of the Mara Serengeti. This is a life-changing adventure that will bring you face to face with our great ape cousins and then immerse you in nature's greatest spectacle. Contact us today on info@wildearth.travel or visit our website, and let's turn your African dreams into a reality.
Join the Wild Earth Explorers program and connect with a community passionate about wildlife. Support our mission to share authentic wildlife experiences with the world. Your monthly contribution helps provide schools and children access to kids' safaris, fostering a love for nature in the next generation. Embrace the wonders of the bush and make a difference today. Wild Earth, connecting with nature.
Often long-standing bonds form between these. And one of the reserves I worked on a while back, we had a pair that was there for at least the 7 years that I spent there. They had moved their nesting site between two different locations, close to each other. These large birds of prey, the raptors, are known to form long-standing pair bonds. Also got saddlebill stork, and some blacksmith lapwings, Egyptian geese. I saw a grey heron earlier. And then there's something else moving. Looks like a mongoose coming in from just above the male batelier on the left. He's in the shade of that fallen over tree as it starts to rise up towards away from the watering hole next to the game trail. So it should be interesting to see if he comes down. They can also tend to scavenge on occasions. They are known to be quite feisty little creatures. Big hearts. Not sure if they'll take on two bateliers though. There was enough to prompt it to come and have a look. I'm amazed at the interesting sightings that Djuma has been producing. Actually, bird sightings. While all that batelier is getting a fill, let's see what's happening at Okukuyu. Oh wow. Ray Hubert, I see you say that those bateliers were awesome, and they were indeed. And so, is this. How fortunate are we? So this is my first herd of elephants here at Okukuyu. And you can see this is quite a decent sized herd. Looks like 35 elephants. This is incredible. This goes to show how important this water is. Judging from a decent size, I'm assuming that these elephants probably moved from quite far away to get here and come and have a drink. Jive Bunny, I see you saying our Okukuyu breeding herd. So I'm assuming they come around regularly, or they are known to frequent this watering hole. But this is an incredible size for a herd. And what an amazing sight. Rhea bear indeed, elephants, and lots of them. I guess the only thing better than one elephant is a whole herd of them. What an amazing sight this is. This is truly spectacular. Just listen to those sounds and splashing. But I want to remind our viewers of an amazing opportunity for next year, which would be the Green Season Grand Tour, and it will be hosted by James Henry. It will be in April and May in 2025 for 8 people, but there's only 2 spots left, and it cannot be missed. It's got so many unique and exciting things on it. It'll be featuring many of the current and old Wild Earth presenters. It'll feature a rhino collaring experience, so an active contribution to conservation. And then it'll also be featuring a 2 Wild Film School workshop, which is a very, very special opportunity. And of course, throughout this experience, you'll have James as your private guide. Now, I usually find the progression of an elephant herd coming to water quite interesting, especially if it's like this where they've been moving over large distances, because in a landscape like this, an animal as resourceful as these elephants will certainly be traveling massive.
Don't miss your chance to join presenter and naturalist Steve Falconbridge for a 5-night safari in the Sabi Sand Nature Reserve.
Hello everybody, my name is Steve. I'm joined by Panda and Cameron.
This trip promises incredible animal sightings, endless laughter, and unforgettable memories with Steve as your private host. Book now and receive a free ticket to dream, allowing you to join a live safari on the Wild Earth vehicle. Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive. Chatting around a fire is an ancient practice that has connected humanity for centuries, and we want to keep it alive in our modern age. As an explorer, you'll have access to intimate gatherings with our naturalists, fascinating guests, and experts where we share knowledge, insights, and stories around a crackling fire. Rediscover the power of connection. Sign up to be an explorer today and experience the magic of Wild Earth's fireside chats.
Every guide in Africa has been on an endless quest for the ultimate bush wear. Until now, Rugged Wear has a huge range of amazing bush gear for every wild situation. In the midday heat, those chilly winter mornings, in the storms of summer. Rugged Wear has the bush kit for every wild occasion. Locally made in South Africa, crafted with precision, stitched with quality.
It doesn't seem like a very deep pan, so I'm assuming that's why it's mostly the young. It's dipping in and out. Certainly one of the few opportunities where smaller size comes in handy. And if I'm not mistaken, it looks like there's 2 very brave waterfowl swimming in between these elephants on the right, maybe the Egyptian geese. Jive Bunny, I see you say that sometimes there's possibly even 3 herds here. And that can be, related elephant herds that split up for whatever the reason might be, if they are too large and the resources doesn't allow them to be that large. They might meet up on occasions, and that makes for quite an exciting time. Thanks for letting me know. I see you say that they're here twice a day at least, which would make sense if they're in the nearby area. It looks like they are, well, some of them are starting to move. That's amazing, these younger ones there. Whole lives are timed by the older ones. And they make the call, it's time to go. But this has been a spectacular end to an amazing day. Lots of elephant action. And lots of birding. It's certainly a great spectacle to end the afternoon show. I would like to thank all our viewers for joining us this afternoon, and I hope you join us again tomorrow at Live at the Watering Hole. And I hope you stay tuned for the afternoon sunset safari.
Good afternoon, one and all. For Wild Earth TV, this is On Safari.